Alright, so Project Sense has been out for a while on Steam. It did have a bit of a rocky start, but things have been smoothed out there, and it is due to release on the Nintendo Switch very soon, and then eventually the PlayStation Vita, the release that we've all been waiting for, or at least those of us that have participated in the Kickstarter. Now, the developers have had some amount of backlash in the past over the design of the female characters in this game, but apparently even the publisher, Top Hat Studios, has experienced this as well. They recently put out a statement standing up to said backlash. Now, before we get into that, I just have to say I was a bit skeptical because honestly, I've played portions of the game on Steam. I even played a bit of the alpha releases before that. Nothing seemed too graphic or risque to me. Apparently, the game is okay with Sony too. I mean, it's coming to both PlayStation 4 and Vita, and the developer has said everything's already been passed by Sony. So that in itself should say something to the nature of this game. As you know, Sony has made the most public display of censorship in video games lately. But they're okay with this game. So here's the statement released today by Top Hat Studios. It reads, "Statement regarding censorship demands of Sense, a Cyberpunk Ghost Story. With the recent news of Sense, a Cyberpunk Ghost Story coming to Nintendo Switch, we are aware of a large amount of messages and demands aimed toward the game's console platform release based on lies, claiming that it is explicitly pornographic or somehow encourages violence, or most ridiculously, somehow breaks the law. Furthermore, voices have attempted to advocate making the sale of the game untenable through demanding harsh censorship aimed towards the developer's art style, with threats to review bomb the game and or harass its distributors. In addition, we have received death threats from those who feel threatened by what essentially boils down to an aesthetic decision of how pixels are arranged on a screen. While disappointed at these behaviors, we are certainly not surprised. Let us be clear on this. We will not censor the game because of self-centered crowds who care solely about grandstanding. We categorically and absolutely refuse to restrict creative expression. Creators should be allowed freedom to express themselves, particularly when it comes to an expression of the subcultures that they have been immersed in. As a cyberpunk game, Sense uses imagery and themes relating to a future of hyper-commercialized, over-commodified imagery as part of its cyberpunk theme and inspiration. This is reflected in all character designs. With that said, we expect that this is lost on those attacking the developer for being harmful and somehow inflicting violence and pain. Those who believe words or images inflict violence should perhaps stop spouting their own hateful, false rhetoric and also cease condoning death threats to those that they disagree with. We reject any and all of the aforementioned brazen characterizations of the game and would like to reiterate our principles against tampering with the creator's expression. We would also like to reiterate this game is rated mature from the ESRB and PEGI 18. This is not an adult-only game, nor have any laws been broken, as some social media commentators have ridiculously claimed out of their biases. This game's rating reflects the target audience, and yet this fact is lost on those who have been led by will to blindly crusade against their false perceptions. Once again, since a Cyberpunk Ghost Story is rated mature, this game will release as planned and without censorship on the 7th of January 2021 for Nintendo Switch. It can be pre-ordered and preloaded now on the Nintendo eShop. The game has passed QA on other platforms and release dates are being decided. The game will not be censored. We categorically refuse. Top Hat Studios. Okay, so there are a few good points there. One of them being the art style. The art style is basically what people have a problem with. The female characters are pretty well endowed, but that is the same with the male characters too. They are all over-exaggerated. It's just the style of the game revolving around their ideas of how their cyberpunk world should operate and look. So it's not just the women, but even if that were the case, why care so much about what games other people want to play? Just vote with your wallet. Same can be said with The Last of Us 2. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Joel was a favorite character from the first game. If you don't like that they kill him off at the very beginning, or for any other reason, just don't buy it. But let's not try to get a game canceled or send threats just because we don't like it. Anyway, so let's take a look at some of the comments. Obviously, we don't have the threats that were sent to the publisher or any of those messages, but here are some of the comments from a public Nintendo Life Twitter post that is simply announcing the game. And seriously, all they're doing here is announcing the game and showing this picture. And here's what people have to say. The world of gaming exists for men's fantasies. I mean, that's innocent enough. It's a fair point. There are probably a lot more male gamers, thus more games targeting that money. But to say that the entire world of gaming is for men, no, I'm sorry, my huge catalog of Otome visual novels on the Vita would disagree with you there. I don't mind it. I'll play visual novels that are primarily designed for women. They don't usually end up being my favorite games, but I'm secure enough with myself that I'll play them, and sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. And I think some of these people would be pleasantly surprised by the same games they pass judgment on if they could only look past their own insecurities for a moment. Here's a good one. What misogynistic hell is this? These hyper-sexualized images are not appropriate and can lead to different forms of sexual violence. Please sort this out. This has to be a joke account, right? She has the stereotypical hair. Okay, her name is blacked out, but I think we all know what it is. Oh wait, never mind. But seriously, this is the problem. People are making snap judgments on this game from an image or two. Not even a screenshot of the actual gameplay. This image isn't particularly revealing. And I know everyone's different, but like this doesn't really get me going. Like I said, this game isn't that bad. I wouldn't say it's lewd in the slightest. Yes, there are some big chests, but nothing really lewd from what I've seen. Certainly no worse than like Dragon's Crown, again, another game where all of the characters are over-exaggerated, including the men. Oh, and here's this guy. Oh yay, another game where women gave massive breasts for the sake of it. How awesome. Again, it's the designer's choice. Don't buy it if you don't like it. Hey, I like women of all shapes and sizes, but I tend to prefer ones with a lower center of gravity, but I'm not gonna complain. It's not even the point of the game. This is a survival horror game. And then we have the typical comments from people saying, oh, oof, she must have a bad back. No, she's not real. It's a video game. Get over it. I don't sit around going, wow, doesn't the main character in this game ever have to poop? I've been playing this game for 32 hours, haven't seen the main character poop once. Unrealistic. 1 star, request refund. Look, most of the people commenting here aren't even the real problem. These people are either just angry or looking for attention. The real problem are the people that are sending threats or trying to get the game canceled just because they don't like it. I mean, if you're concerned because you have kids and you don't want them to play it, don't buy the game. Use the parental controls on the game consoles that we have these days. We can't use the same excuses that we did back before the ESRB was formed. Now we have a rating system. Now we have parental controls. Now video games have been around long enough for parents to be aware. Just like movies, we have ratings, reviews, and lots of other resources to make informed decisions for ourselves and our families. Trying to get a game canceled because there's something you don't like about it is beyond selfishness. It's a wake-up call to go get some therapy. And I don't mean that in a sarcastic or negative way at all. I mean it seriously. Work on yourself, love yourself, it'll change your life. If you're going out of your way to cancel a game or individual, I think you need to look inside first. Now, I see a lot of people showing their support for the publisher and developer by pre-ordering the game because of this statement that was put out. That's fine if that's what you want to do, but I just have to let you guys know, this is not a lewd game, just so you know. Like I've been saying, it's a survival horror game that's set in a cyberpunk-esque future. It's made with similar mechanics to old survival horror games like Clock Tower or Fatal Frame. Originally, it was supposed to be very unforgiving to make you actually scared of death in the game, but based on review feedback they received, they've added some accessibility options so you can toggle things in the options to make the game a little bit easier. Now, this is one I've actually backed on Kickstarter, pretty heavily actually. I'll be getting like 10 copies of this physically on the Vita. I plan to use them for giveaways later on, And speaking of which, this game is available digitally on Steam right now. Switch will be very soon, I believe on the 7th of January, PlayStation 4 and Vita a little bit later, and it will also be available physically for the PlayStation Vita from East Asia Soft at a later date. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I always love hearing from you. It was really interesting hearing everyone's thoughts on the Galgun Returns cancellation for Xbox. You guys brought up a lot of really good points. Also, really quick, want to mention for those of you that participate in the monthly Platinum Trophy Challenge giveaway, if you want to get a head start on this month, the 2 games I've chosen are Danganronpa Another Episode, Ultra Despair Girls, and Dragon Sinker. Both of those are on the PlayStation 4 or Vita. Tomorrow, I'm going to be busy with family stuff, so I'll be making the official Platinum Trophy Challenge contest video on the 3rd, and I will also announce the winner from last month then too. Alright guys, take care, thanks for watching, until next time, I will see you later.